Om Shri Matre Namaha. Whenever we come across to discuss about Ramayana, it is indescribable history, mystery. Lifelong we can discuss about Ramayana. Even there will be some leftouts. Such a huge information given by the sage Valmiki to our people, to our generation, to generations. Especially in Ramayana, when we go through the studies of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, we can understand the heroic personalities, how they conquered their five senses and mind, and even they got victory over demon king Ravana. Here so many incidents occurred in the journey of exile while doing by Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Even Bharata is also an extraordinary devotee of Lord Rama. Lakshmana is like a shadow, never left Rama even a single minute. Shatrugna also similarly devotee of his elder brother Rama. In this way, we can see the male characters in Ramayana so powerful, is it not? All these male characters brought a kind of recognition to our Indian tradition and culture. But when we come across to female characters like Sita, Mandodari, etc., are an example of a woman how to lead their life along with their husbands. Such a feminism we can find a lot in Ramayana, beautifully sketched, described, elaboratedly showed with an examples by the sage Valmiki in beautiful manner. In such a way, we can find Ramayana, or even Mahabharata also. We can see feminism, especially in Ramayana, Sita. In Mahabharata, when we come, the character of Draupadi. Today, we can talk about Ramayana, feminism in Ramayana. Especially the character of Sita sketched beautifully by the sage Valmiki in elaborated manner. Sita, a symbol of chastity. Sita is a symbol of mother goddess. Sita is a symbol of a beautiful and a dutiful wife. Sita, in all the qualities, stood among other female characters in Ramayana. In such a way, we can find especially feminism. Nobody knows detailedly in Ramayana. Sita never left out her Nari Dharmam, means Stri Dharma, in any kind of the way. Such a female characters made Ramayana in a beautiful way. When you come across to Urmila, leaving her husband for 14 years, awaiting the arrival of her Lord, showed her patience, showed her chastity. In such a way, all characters are described by Valmiki in beautiful manner. Even Kausalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi. Whenever we come across to Kausalya, stood like Patta Mahishi. When we come Sumitra, according to her name, she left her twins, Lakshmana and Shatrugna, Lakshmana to Rama, Shatrugna to Bharata. Even while sending Lakshmana to the forest along with Sita and Rama, she said to him, Ayodhyam, रामं रामं दशरथं विद्धि मां विद्धि जनकात्मजाम् अयोध्यामटवीं विद्धि गच्छतात यथा सुखम्. See, beautiful quote. She advised Lakshmana, you treat your father as Dasharatha, Sita as me, and the forest is like Ayodhya. So, happily go along with them. Such a beautiful character sketched by Valmiki. That's why I want to bring forth you about feminism in Ramayana. Therefore, I took the topic of feminism in Ramayana, and let us get in detailed description. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. The two epics, Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the respective heroines Sita and Draupadi are feminist icons, though different in situation and character. Mythology is full of stories of women and their small struggles against the patriarchal world they lived in. But each story and each woman rose above their status in society to show free will and courage to stand up against injustice. In the two epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, the respective heroines Sita and Draupadi are feminist icons. Though different situation and character, Sita knew what she wanted. Sita is shown as a woman who always knows what she wants and is not just known as the wife of King Rama and daughter of King Janaka. She falls in love with Rama, the prince of Ayodhya, and hopes to marry him, and he wins her hand in a Swayamvara held by her father, making difficult choice. As a young bride, Sita is made to face a difficult choice to remain in the place as her husband leaves for a 14-year exile or accompanies him in his 14-year exile as he is a companion, friend, and wife, sharing hardship and troubles. Let us see the strength of Sita's character. When abducted by the demon king Ravana of Lanka, she stays strong and never succumbs to either fear or grief. Sure that Rama will free her, Rama does what Sita hopes and knows only too well, vanquishing and killing Ravana. But the fact that she had been in this man's custody leads to doubts on her character and her credentials to become the queen of Ayodhya. In anger and in defiance to prove her innocence, she goes through the Agni Pariksha. She passes through this trial by fire to prove to the world and any doubting mind to return Ayodhya as a triumphant queen. She proved her chastity. As single mother, very soon she again becomes a victim of social censure, and Rama is forced to banish her as he is expected from him by his citizens as an ideal king who sacrifices self for society. Sita is left in the forest to give birth to twin sons who share their feelings to know the pains and gains of Sita while left from Rama. She raises a single mother, providing them with the best education meant for the princess of Ayodhya. Years later, when Rama comes to take his lost family back, he returns with his sons and not his wife. Sita, when asked to prove herself again, refuses and prefers to return to her mother Bhumi, to suffering further ignominy. Many often do not see the steel in Sita. She is staunch and steadfast, never submissive. She is differential but not docile, having an inner strength to carry out her convictions with immense courage and dignity. Ramayana is a classic epic story narrated in Sanskrit language by the sage Valmiki. It revolves around the life of Maryada Purushottama Rama, who was exiled to live as an ascetic and sage like in forest for 14 years along with his wife Sita and brother Lakshmana. The villain of the story, Ravana, abducts Sita, after which Rama rescues her and they come back to Ayodhya. The epic that blankets candor, duty, righteousness, and countless ideal virtues. Like every other thing, is contextual and ridden with the evils of society. With Ramayana breaking records in recent times, it is of utmost importance to contemplate its relevance and impact in 21st century. Let us see Sita and her Nari Dharma, means Sri Dharma. Before delving in the domain of questioning and challenging, it is important to traverse through the trajectory of irrelevant acts seamlessly portrayed in the epic. The prominent ones were the preaching of Nari Dharma, the reflection of ideal women in Sita and Agni Pariksha. Throughout the epic, Nari Dharma entails endless loyalty and servitude towards her husband, who is an epitome of God in her eyes, abiding to all the rules designed by the patriarchs, devotion to household work, sacrificing herself for the larger good, etc. Sita is an extremely chaste and pious woman, and also an exemplary of the ideal woman and inspiration to all womankind. This elevated position was attributed to her fulfilling and subscribing to Nari Dharma effortlessly. Sita was undoubtedly an epitome of grace, beauty, and chastity. However, it is wise not to ignore the fact that her grace was concealed and shrugged aside owing to the aura and dominance of Lord Rama. In Indian households, the act of Sita is told and retold to remind wives, daughters, and mothers how they should behave and act in order to win over a plagued society which otherwise treats a woman like a dirt stuck in a shoe. It is said that a woman is glorified and treated respectfully only when she surrenders her dignity and mind. The historical epochs echo with the chants of Holy Sita, who is worshipped for her subjugated, obedient, and submissive role, and not because of her willed, strong personality. The episode where Sita is asked to prove her chastity and loyalty by Rama through a trial by fire. Agni Pariksha is particularly significant in contemplating the relevance of Ramayana. A woman who shows resilience and courage against an enemy and upholds her duty in crisis is asked to prove her purity not once but twice. The lack of apathy towards Sita, who had undergone countless ordeals and hardships, is appalling. Female character in Ramayana. The portrayal of the female characters in the epic, amazing as they are, displayed as submissive and obedient wives, mothers, and daughters who lack a mind of their own, thus dictated by the male members. Certain dialogues like in Sri Ramacharita by Tulsidas, मैं आपकी दासी हूँ, पति स्वामी का रूप है, स्त्री स्वामी की शरण होती है, etc. Flawed and problematic and on multiple levels. Worshipping husbands as God epitomizes unequal relationship that is glorified and set as a precedent instead of questioning the inequality. The underlying concern with the display of Ramayana in contemporary times is its impact. The society is inherently patriarchal. The depiction of such submissive character in a time where women are challenging and smashing the chains of patriarchy is not just regressive, but it also defeats the purpose. Families and patriarchs impose their problematic and unjust notions on a woman who they want to mirror Sita or preach the Nari Dharma. A woman who already has to fight even for her breath is now put in a conflicting situation where her views are to odds with the family values. Instead of healing the wounds etched in the hearts of Sita, she is asked to prove her chastity in front of everyone. A victim who strongly resists her perpetrator is brought under surveillance. Rama is never questioned. This again reinforces that is the woman only who is questioned, regulated, and restrained, while a man can do anything they want. Sita's miseries are aggravated. Her fight is exasperated. The problem confronting us in the portrayal of Sita as only an ideal woman who is an idol of all the virtues. Idealism is subjective, objectifying, and appareling it with unequal patriarchal notions is a victory for the society where a woman is again treated as a puppet. What is ideal is to be decided by an individual woman. Why are there no definitions for an ideal woman, ideal man? A woman can't wear iron. She has to be docile, means obedient, pathetic. This is preached as normal in society and makes any woman deviant of the normal worthy of backlash. This is unjust. Today versus Ramayana. In a world, Me Too, where we allow victims to live with dignity and emerge as survivors and call out the perpetrators, the depiction of human succumbing to the societal perception and patriarchal values in a slap on all the efforts of the survivors. Instead of healing the wounds etched in the hearts of Sita, she is asked to prove her chastity in front of everyone. A victim who strongly resists her perpetrator brought under surveillance. In such a way, the unequal and unjust nature of punishment makes Ramayana unjust with just a blink of an eye. We live in a world where every second a woman is harassed and assaulted. Is it? Preaching ideas like this not just negates these everyday ordeals of women, it further aggravates it by instilling fear of being disowned and questioned in their hearts for a fault of a man. The Agni Pariksha that Sita took without revolting is an icing on the cake for these patriarchs who will be like. If Sita didn't defy Rama, who are we? The stigmatization and isolation of victims is intensified. In a post Enlightenment world flooded with the ideas of gender equality, rationality, and justice, the re-telecast of Ramayana with these events raises significant and harsh question on the design of Indian society. It would be delusional if we tend to turn blind to the epidemic of patriarchy that has strangled the society since ages. The reinforcement of such unequal and unrealistic notions is shuddery primarily because of the devotion and importance attributed to Ramayana in the eyes of people. There is no intent to question the faith of the people. In fact, it is a faith and worship that threatens the relevance of Ramayana in contemporary times. The fundamental problem in telecasting Ramayana in contemporary times is its idealization in the eyes of mortal beings. The genesis is if gods treated goddesses in such a way, who are we mortal beings to talk about equality, let alone be its application? The idea propagated throughout the epic is that gender inequality is normal and divinely ordained. It is daft to even have a thought of challenging it. In Ramayana, feminism, both as an ideology and movement, suffers a setback owing to this genesis, as it is compelled to start its battle on uprooting patriarchy from square one. Moreover, we cannot find such a chaste woman like Sita in anywhere. The success and achievements are blurred because of her dominating tincture of patriarchal. A battle which is long drawn sees a debacle. The society has patriarchal since a time immemorial, by virtue of which gender injustice is already normalized and perpetuated. Ramayana, though an embodiment of fairness, could not escape the wrath of patriarchal norms, solely premised on inequality. The impact thus impressioned is beyond repair. A feminist engagement with Ramayana. When episodes like Agni Parisha or Nari Dharma are depicted, a precedent is set that is held in perpetuality. The last thing is women would want are labels and precedents that thrive of unequal notions. It's high time we allow women the right to define herself on her own terms. It is sad that woman has to already fight for her breath, her life, and literally everything, which is further aggravated by the utopian notion seamlessly incorporated in epic stories that are as irrelevant as the ideas they preach. We can find many incidents in Ramayana. Not only Sita, even Mandodari advised her husband to surrender Sita to Rama. She was the only character found. Rama is incarnation of Lord Sriman Narayana. Even she advised her husband to seek shelter by surrendering Sita to Rama. Not only you will be saved, even the people who are depending on you can be saved. In such a way, even Mandodari requested Ravana to surrender to Rama. But being a demon, he could not listen such words. Feminism is defined as organized activities for women's rights and interests guided by theories and political, economical, social equalities. A feminist is a person who supports the belief that women should have the same rights and opportunities as men. But these post mid 19th century noun insertions and their parameters are increasingly getting used for modern reimaginations of leading lady characters in Ramayana like Kaikeyi, Sita, Tara, Surpanaka, or Mandodari. How inspiring are these women as reclaimed icons for contemporary feminism? Can their societies and male counterparts be termed feminist in retrospect? The Ramayana unfolds across a robust landscape led by multiple women characters beyond its heroine Sita. The epic imagines a society where choice, social, marital, political, and spiritual was as much as an area of access for a desiring woman as a man, irrespective of whether she lived in a hermit's abode or a palace. Kaikeyi, Sita, Tara, and Mandodari stand alongside their powerful husbands, never blind followers, heeding the counsel of their mind always wrong or right. It is Rama who conducts the Ashwamedha Yajna in the shadow of his abandoned wife's gold structure to lend the sacrifice, sanctity, and spectacle. Kaikeyi, a warrior queen, as a charioteer of her husband King Dasharatha, steers him to safety in a ferocious battle between Devas and Asuras. The act gets her the two boons that trigger the events leading to the epic's first dramatic event, Rama's exile. Rama's confrontation with Ravana, the epic's second major turn, is triggered by another warrior princess Surpanaka's lust for a married Rama. The third major catalyst event leading to the eventual finding of Sita and the climatic Rama Ravana battle was possible because the queen of Kishkinda, Tara, had advised her husband Vali to only banish and not kill Sugriva in their duels for the Monkey Kingdom. Before dying, Vali insists upon Sugriva to consult Tara on all decisions of statecraft, as her advice never goes without effect. Like a hero's wife, Tara mourns Vali's death and refuses the Kishkinda throne when offered to succeed her dead husband. She opts for Sugriva's kingship with her son Angad as the heir apparent. Her tact comes to the fore again when Sugriva sends her pacifier ragging Lakshmana, upset over the latter's forgetting his promise to start searching for Sita. Even Mandodari never shies away from giving sane counsel to the ferocious Ravana, constantly urging him to return Sita with honor. But when the war comes upon their Lankan capital, she does not abandon her husband, as his blood brother Vibhishana did. Marriages, though facilitated by fathers, be it of Sita or her sisters, or Mandodari, daughter of Asura king Maya, the daughter's willingness is always sought. The Ramayana's women, whether driven by love, lust, or high purpose, never shy away from articulating choice and are rarely restrained by their male counterparts. Rama indulges Sita's silly wish for the golden deer while knowing that it was a trap. Of three males who trade coveting women against their will, Ravana and Vali get killed and Indra is cursed. Though the Ramayana affects categorical punishments against any violation of women, none of the women from Queen Kaikeyi to ascetic Anasuya show any need for male protection or incapability for self-defense. Sita is acknowledged in Valmiki's Ramayana for her ability to reduce Ravana to ashes through the fire of her chastity alone. But she, however, resists the power to not deprive Rama's arrow from its legitimate glory. Equal opportunities and warriors' disposition are evidenced to greater degree among men and women in the Asura community, where women soldiers are neither a rarity nor a surprise. The gatekeeper of Ravana's golden city at its sea frontier is a woman called Lankini. The caretaker of his most precious possession, Sita in the Ashoka Vana, is a brave and compassionate Trijata, while Ravana's grandmother, Demoness Tataka, lorded over forests bordering his empire. The essentials of feminism movement, equality of rights and opportunities were a choice available, exercised and enjoyed by each of the epic's women characters. This right to equality and opportunity, a naturally accorded choice to men and women in the epic, is perhaps the essence edge that made their age a yuga of satya or truth. श्रीकांताय कल्याण निधे निधे दिनाम श्री वेंकटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाचार्य प्रेमदाचार्य पुरोगमे सर्वेश पूर्वेराचार्य सत्कृताय सुमंगलम।